Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie.
And this is another week's edition of Speak Random Question! Woo! As you can see, it's back to normality. It's back to normality. We binned Alistair. He wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Boo, Alistair.
Didn't fit the dynamic.
He owes me petrol. You owe me petrol money as well, actually.
Yeah,
I think Kieran paid part of yours, so you don't owe me.
Thanks. Yeah, I bought his KFC for him.
That's right, that's right. And this is the first Speak Friendly Question since our tournament at the weekend, which is why the last Speak Friendly Question didn't go up until Monday.
Well, we had 2 days worth of no videos go up in me over the weekend, so apologies for that, but we were out.
We were out, and you were doing a lot of filming.
Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, I think got 4 videos worth of stuff recorded, including 2 Middle-earth Deadliest Warbands and an unboxing with James.
Yeah, no, he tried to squeeze me out of the channel, guys. You be careful of him. You know, he's planning how to break away from this sort of
sneaky woes.
And what's even more impressive about the fact that Jamie got so much filming done is because he also managed to win the tournament. Woo! Massive round of applause. Tournament winning Wood Elves. Woo! And the genius,
living up to their name. And
the genius touch, was the Woses.
The Woses, the 90 points for 9 models, an extra 3 might. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, because you had a lot of models really.
35 models I had.
So think of it like he's got 35 models, and 2/3 of that army are elves.
Yeah,
that's really good.
The Wood Elves. Yeah.
And Gambarigan was your man of the tournament.
Yeah, Gambarigan. He was sort of like the haldir of my force from the last time, where he's the little grey man, as you say, who doesn't get noticed but does all the work basically. Yeah,
like me in the army.
Yeah,
that's what I used to get called, the grey man. I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
Yeah.
The man who does all the jobs, who just gets on with it unnoticed. So yeah, this is another week's edition of Speak Friendly Question. We've got less questions this week, obviously because there's been less time to ask questions. We do also want to make an apology as well, because in a bat rep which just went up, one of our subscribers noticed that there was a little bit of swearing in there that we didn't notice during editing. So
hold my hands up with me.
Well, and interestingly enough, it was me that was doing the swearing.
For once.
The one time I do the swearing, I think I put a finger up to Jamie because he was filming me while I was filming and got me off track. And he forgot to edit it out, so we are very sorry, because we do have a policy on this channel, don't we, Jamie?
We do. We try not to swear as much as possible. Well, at all, but as much as possible.
Which is hard when we wind each other up as much as we do. So we're going to get stuck into the questions. I also gave you your dice, didn't I? You gave them back.
Immediately returned them because they weren't. I did one roll and got a 4 highest on 4 dice and was like, no, don't want to.
Do you know what? I did exactly the same. When I got them out and I rolled, and I think I got a 4 highest as well. And as such, I didn't use them for the whole tournament until
the last game.
And I think I went through every single different colour of dice.
Yeah.
And then when I got to them, they actually did all right. So I stuck with them.
We'll keep that for our tournament review.
Yes.
This is Speak Friendly Question.
And so we better get on with the first question.
Yes, it's from straight away.
It's like one of my favourite bits of the week. Just to say that word.
Just to say that name.
It brings that happiness, doesn't it? Chon Master from Poland, you give us much happiness every single week. Keep asking us questions.
Yeah. So, this question, hello guys, smiley face. What do you guys think about the Black Guards of Barad-dûr and the the Knight of Umbar? As always, cheers from Poland.
Cheers from the UK. Black Guard of Barad-dûr.
Very good. Strength 5, fight 4, defense 6. Bonus for having a ring wraith on the board.
Totally broken!
I wouldn't say they're totally broken. They're pointed correctly.
They are. But for evil, I guess when you look at the Lord of the Rings universe from a fluff point of view, you wouldn't necessarily think that evil have things like that. I guess it's your anti-dwarf.
Yeah. That's what when they were released, I immediately thought of them, because they are strength 5, so they're cracking dwarves on 5s, and they're equal fight value with them. So they're sort of like the perfect counter to a Khazad Guard. That fight is evenly matched. And
do you think that's why they got brought out? Because Khazad Guard
we're doing very well at the time. Yeah.
And they're more expensive than Khazad Guard as well.
Yeah.
And the Knight of Umbar's a beast. Being able to, because he matches everything, doesn't he?
He's never going to be worse off in a fight than he should be. So he'll match your fight value, match your attacks, and match your strength. So he's never going to be worse off than his opponents.
Yeah, I've only come up against him. I really love them. It's a gorgeous model.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. I really want.
So the one with the 2-handed.
He's got like He looks almost sort of Elendil-ish with the
Yeah.
helmet kind of going up. I'm not sure if he's got two-handed. I'm not sure, but he's a lovely looking model. I think I've only come up against him once. With Samuel Jeffrey had him on a Fellbeast, yeah. And Erkin Brandon Aimer took him down because heroic striking is the way to take him down.
Push yours a bit higher than him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't match your.
No, he matches your base stat line. So if he transfixed you and charged in, he could still take your base attacks.
So that's what we think about Blackguard of Barad-dûr and the Knight of Umbar. Next question is from Max Robinson. Hey guys, thanks for answering my question last week. My question this week is, have you got any tips or advice on understanding the language in the Silmarillion book? And I think a monthly newsletter is a great idea and I would definitely support it. Thanks. Brilliant. Well, we're going to have some more news about that soon.
Yeah. Things are in the pipeline.
Oh yes, they are. We are planning. We need your support. In terms of tips for understanding the language in the Silmarillion, there are lots of books out there about.
There are lots of books about Tolkien's language itself. Something I found really helpful before reading the Silmarillion was I'm a fan of Bernard Cornwell. I've said in previous videos. I read the Warlord Chronicles.
Yeah.
And in that there's lots of Old English names, and he gives you sort of speech. So before you start reading, he gives you like speech how the A's and E's together, that weird symbol sound, and it helped me whilst reading the Silmarillion because I had sort of this understanding of the language that he's developed it from.
Yeah, and if you look into the appendices of things like the Lord of the Rings,
there are some sort of like what's it called, phonetics.
Yeah. Even if you go on the internet, if you type in sort of Tolkien languages, it comes up. I think a lot of his languages are based on Welsh, so if you know Welsh, that helps. Finnish. I think he had an obsession with Finnish, so I can't remember which one is, because you've got Tengwa, and then you've got Kenya. Kenya? Is that right? I'm not sure. One of them's based on Welsh, one I don't know. And one of them's based. There you go. So I'm having problems with
maybe they've got lions in Kenya. That's what I've heard.
It's a good job you won a tournament.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'd be ribbing you right now. But I can't, because you are awesome.
I have tournament winning Wood Elves, and you have nearly last place Rohan.
Yeah, I was quite chuffed with them though. Just a couple of things that were a bit tough.
Yeah,
but it's good. Next question.
It's from Will Hamill. He thinks the Galadrim captain need a captain with a horse. Well, they have got one.
I think Galadrim need a captain with a horse.
They've got one.
Is he referring to a Middle-earth's Deadliest Warband? Oh, we did have him on.
We did have him on a horse. We got him on an armoured horse, which he can take.
Except he looked like Arwen.
So he looked like Arwen carrying Frodo. But I have bought the models now because they made it through to the next round. So next time they're in here.
Oh, and I've got one.
You've got the captain.
I've got your captain, yeah.
Yeah.
They did. They made it through to the next round.
Amazingly.
In fact, and then today we should finish off the whole round robin.
We should finish off the whole of round one.
And I'd like to say a big thank you to Mark Boland, Nighty Night, for contributing. He's effectively sponsoring those battle reports because he's lent us his Arnor and he's lent us
the Army of Thror, isn't it?
Which are beautiful.
Yeah. And also let's say thank you to Sam Page for providing his Blackguard of Barad-dûr and his Hunter Orcs, which you managed to do. Oh, and I guess also David Reed for letting us borrow his Isengard Berserkers and crossbowmen.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
I played against David. He's a lovely guy.
He's great, isn't he?
He's a lovely guy.
And so's Chris, who we came down with.
He's a lovely guy. I voted for him best sportsman, I think. I might have voted for someone like Owen, but he destroyed me horrendously. Next question is from Orksomore. I like it that it's my turn to read this one. Hey guys, I'm playing my friend next week. My elves versus his Easterlings, 750 points. He's going for some cataphracts, but mostly foot sloggers with pikes, no ring raves. I'm going to pass this question on to Jamie for a reason. Here's the list I'll be playing. Warband 1, Legolas, Armour, Elven Cloak, 2 Wood Elves Throwing Daggers, 2 Wood Elves Wood Elf Spear, 2 Sentinels, 6 Wood Elves with Bows. Warband 2, Thranduil, 6 Wood Elves Wood Elf Spear, 6 Wood Elves Elven Blades. Warband 3, Rumil, 4 Galadriel Warriors Shield and Elven Blade, 4 Galadriel Warriors with Spear, and Warband 4, I'm not used to seeing this number of warbands because I'm 500 point man. Haldir with Bow and Armour, 3 Galadriel Warriors with Bows, 3 Galadriel Warriors with Spear, and 4 Galadriel Warriors with Shield, Elven Blade. What do you think?
It's a good list. It's got lots of firepower. All the heroes are strong in there. I think you should really bowl him over with Easterlings, to be honest.
And why do you think that, Jamie?
That? Well, you've got the higher fight value. You got your heroes in there can all take down the Easterlings reliably. I think the 2 Sentinels is an interesting one. I prefer just to go to get more troops and bump up and perhaps fill up Rumel's Warband. With the extra sort of 30 points, you'd say you could get 3 more elves for Rumel's Warband.
Yeah, I'm guessing the Sentinels. If he's bringing a War Priest and doing Fury,
then potentially that's going to be negated.
So no point maybe.
No point maybe they bring that, but it's always good to have around. If he doesn't have them, they're only Courage 3 or Courage 4 if they've got the Black Dragon upgrade, which if you've arranged this game, I assume he won't be taking because he knows it won't be worth it. So yeah, potentially use them, but I think depending on the scenario, you should really crack him.
Yeah, because you played a very, very, very good player at the weekend.
Yes, Mr. Thomas Harrison. He was the current league leader for 2013.
Who I list tailored against to beat him.
Yeah, you did. So did.
I didn't, but I'm just going to say that I did because no one will ever believe me. Yeah, I list tailored. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And he brought Easterlings, and fair play to him because I don't like Easterlings.
He won 4 out of his 6 games, and unfortunately the 2 games he lost, he played against my Wood Elves and lost against them.
Because you're just damn good.
No, I outnumbered, had better shooting, and my heroes were stronger against him than his were against me because my regular guys are higher fight value, as yours are. So you should do well, mate.
Yep, good luck, Orcs, some more, and let us know how you get on.
For Wood Elves.
Next question.
It's from Liam F. This is my first time asking a question. Hello.
Ooh, welcome.
So we've answered your question, so next week you have to ask another one.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. That's the participation rule. Only one question. So let's start by saying that I love what you guys are doing and that you've got me back into the hobby after a long absence. That's brilliant. It's always nice to hear.
And guys turning up to these tournaments who didn't know about them, turning up because they found this YouTube channel. That's Thomas Macklin. What a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
What is the best way for Gondor to counter high defence armies such as dwarves? Also, for other game systems, I think you should definitely try Mantic's Dreadball. I have. I do enjoy it, although I'm in the mindset of Blood Bowl, so I'm not playing it correctly at the moment. But yeah, it is good. It's a great game and very easy and cheap to get started. P.S. See you in Stockport.
Woohoo! Yay! See you in Stockport. Have you bought your ticket? Have you seen? There's loads of them have gone now. There was like a big surge. Guys, not long left now. What's the date today?
It is the 20th of February.
So not long until the stretch goal cut off. Okay, so if you've not bought your ticket and you're intending to come, buy it now. Buy it now, because on the 15th of March, stretch goal's gone. I think we're pretty close to getting the Palace
Guard. I think we are 4 off.
Yeah, maybe 4 off getting the Palace Guard into the Lucky Dip. And then if we get another 10, Mirkwood Rangers going, on top of that.
If 20 more after that, then it's the barrels out of Bond.
I'm not sure we'll get to the barrels out of Bond, but I think that we can get to the Mirkwood. Yeah. So, guys, get on it. Because we've had a nice little surge, which is getting those X-Wing guys worried. So they're telling their guys who are coming down to buy tickets. So, buy tickets. So back to your question.
So the best way for Gondor to counter high defence armies such as dwarves. I guess if you've got some Fight 4 guys around, you could combine them with a Knight's Charge to get the knockdown and get the lance bonus, and that should crack the armour a little bit more. Potentially put your heroes on horses with lance, and that'll crack them easier. And remember, if you're going sort of defence 7 with Fountain Court on the front, which is what I think of when I think of Gondor, then they're wounding you just as hard as you're wounding them. So it should be a relatively stalemate, but if your heroes got lances, they'll do better.
Yeah, maybe use your heroes and maybe your cavalry to get the kills.
Yeah.
And then use your sort of standard troops just to kind of hold the line.
Yeah.
The whole kind of hammer and anvil idea.
Definitely
don't model them with axes.
Yeah, that's the other way out.
That's the other way out.
Axe it up.
Axe it up.
Rangers with axes.
Rangers with axes is a good idea. Thanks for your question. Okay, next up we've got Brandon Cooper. Thanks for asking my question again. My question this week is, should I get any Mirkwood Rangers? And if so, what hero to go with them as well?
Mirkwood Rangers seem to be a bit of a 50-50 troop. People seem to either really like them and will use them, or will not use them because of their defence.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
What are you going to say?
Gorgeous models. They're beautiful models.
Oh my eyes.
Oh my eyes. Oh my eyes. I got ripped at that tournament.
Yeah, you did.
Brilliant. I loved it. Bro, when we did the support your hobby at the end, and everyone Rohan, brilliant guys. Damien had to. Damien's a really nice guy, isn't he? Dr. Grant from the forums. We were messaging because I'm going to go down there
Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to do some filming of some of the fellowship scenarios with him, which should be good for the channel. And he said, I hope you didn't think, that we were being too hot. It was an affectionate sort of rib. I was like, you don't have to tell me. They don't have to tell me, do they? I give as good as I get. Yeah. Sharp and to the point and cutting deep. I love it. Mirkwood Rangers, they're expensive.
They're very expensive. For
I think if people could choose to have the Elven Cloak off of them,
make them drop them back down to sort of 9 points, and
then they're well worth it.
They're well worth it at 9 points.
9 points. I think they should be. They did 12 points maybe.
Yeah, 12 points without cloak and reduce the cloak price for them. Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, that seems fair. I like them. In terms of what hero to bring, well,
I think it's either Legolas, if you've not got him already, because he's out of the three of Tariel, Legolas.
He's a game changer.
Legolas is the game changer.
You love it. He's your favourite hero.
He's my favourite hero to use in game. Yeah.
You've got Breaking of the Fellowship version, isn't it? That's Breaking of the
That's
Fellowship.
just Stabby.
Yeah, Stabby.
Stabby Legolas. I've got two of him.
Have you got two of them?
Yeah. And out of them, Toriel and Thranduil, I'd be more tempted by Toriel for her combat ability. Although I do also think, at the same time, Thranduil's just as good with his sort of army buffing.
Yeah, he's good. There you go. So good answer there.
So I've answered all the heroes are good. You can choose any of them and do well.
So next up we've got Werner's Miniatures.
Yep, this just came by Google+. Question about the Grey Company rule. You may opt to take a Grey Company force.
I can answer this question.
Yeah, you can answer it. If you do so, your force, or an allied contingent in your force that contains only models from the Arnor list, but can take up to 4 ranges of Arnor for each range of the North, or Dunedain it contains. It can do so even if this would take it above the normal bow limit. So if I ally 4 Dunedain Rangers with a Minas Tirith force, can I add 4 Rangers for each Dunedain Ranger? When using Iron Builder or SBG XL, this isn't possible.
And that's because it's only for the Arnor.
The Rangers of Arnor.
Rangers of Arnor.
Rangers from Gondor are counted as Rangers of Gondor, and Rangers from the Fiefdoms I think are also... Well, they're Blackroot Vale Archers, aren't they?
That's right, yeah. So although they are the same model, because it's Rangers of Middle-earth.
Essentially the same stat line, besides I think a courage difference.
Yeah. And also some upgrades that you can take and stuff. No, you can't. The Dunedain and the Ranger of the North are there to give you 100% bows if you do a Grey Company build, but you can't do that with other Rangers. So we hope that helps. Werner's Miniatures. Next up we've got Mark Johnson. Hey guys, I was thinking about adding some Rivendell High Elves to my force, but paint them the same colours as in the movie, silver armour. That's what I've done.
That's what I did. That's what I did as well. For my Rivendell Knights.
Oh yeah. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. And you've gone for sort of a more grey, kind of dark grey cloak.
Yeah.
Dark blue.
Very, very dark blue.
How would you suggest I paint them?
It's entirely sort of your own... Well, if you want the silver armour... Oh, if it's in the movies, just grab a screenshot and...
Yeah, they've got like a dark crimson.
Yeah.
Some of them got like a dark crimson, some of them got like a dark bluey grey, like a... Would it be like a...
A midnight blue.
Is that what you did? Midnight blue?
I think it's called something else, but essentially it's midnight blue.
It's completely up to you. Trial. Like, just play around with one, and if you don't like it, you can always strip it and start again. I'm I'm upset how Games Workshop don't sell the new Halbrad and Grey Company, but still sell the old ones. Why? Probably because they didn't make as many of the new ones.
Yeah.
So when they sold out, they're not.
They just sold out.
There's a new one, the one with the horn. He's quite a rare model.
Grey Company's not a force I really delved into, so I don't really know the models for them that well.
Well, you had the Grey Company models that had like the spears. That were like the Rangers of the North with the spear, and they were really nice. And I actually regret not getting them now because they have gone out of production. And if you do have them, you can sell them for quite a lot of money. They go for quite a bit. Do you have any?
I had half a Grey Company force from my Wood Elves once. I bought them back then. I'll have a look. I'll dig them out.
Have a look.
Yeah.
You know you're my friend. Give me some models. I'm appealing to Jamie now.
Please, models. You're like a crack addict. Just need one more model, man. Just a Gildor.
I'll tell you
just a
what.
Gildor.
Just a Gildor.
Just a Gildor.
Got a Gildor. If anybody wants a Gildor, £50. £50. And I want to say thank you, James R. So Mavs Fanatic.
Mavs Fanatic, isn't it?
Mavs Fanatic from Texas. He is sending over some ferals for the Isengard that we're going to have.
Awesome.
Because we can't get them in the UK anymore. So if anybody wants to send me any more ferals.
I heard Damien's bringing his ferals to the next 2 events.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Good for him. You know, I don't.
No, I'm just joking. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there's a new play. It's hard to gauge on the sort of banter scale what is acceptable to bring and what's not acceptable to bring. Because some people do bring force and everyone's like, oh, cheese, but I'm not sure whether it's being said in like a semi-affectionate way. Those people do really well, and there's no like punishment for it. You know, so you start to think,
why shouldn't I bring?
Well, if you look at the weekend tournament, look how many Alfreds were brought. I know they didn't do fantastically well, but it still helped people.
Yeah.
You know, like, so for example, we'll talk about it in the tournament review, but people bring an Alfred. Damien was the first person to bring the Alfred and Bomber combination. But we'll talk about that in the why.
The other video. Why it didn't work so well.
Yeah. You know, Charles brings hundreds of watches of Kana, and he does well. And it's to do with the army building part of it. It's not necessarily to do with
the way
I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but you know, and Ed, with those hundreds of Hobbits, there are certain scenarios where he's going to get tons of tournament points. Tons.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of...
There's always a... Like, I always think the majority of the tournament is in your army build.
Yeah.
Like, you can be as good a player as you can on the day, but if you get the wrong armies or you've built your army incorrectly for scenarios, then you're not going to do that well.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding with the Rohan. Like, I love playing it, but the more I experience some of the scenarios that I don't play as much, the more I realise that it's not suited for particular scenarios. Yeah. And then you start to think, well, maybe I should bring Reavers in the shade and screw everyone, because for win, there's no... For win...
You win, you win.
Yeah, deal with it. That's... I'm not going to. I might do. I'm getting more and more tempted.
Yeah. So, painting them... Oh, the old Halbrad models.
Yeah. So next up we've got Davey McShirra.
Out of interest, do you guys get as excited about dice outcomes in real games as you do in some of the battle reports? Yes, I do. I think the entire weekend we were talking, I was like, come on, Garbary, yes! Killed 2 guys. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
definitely.
I do. Again, people were taking the mickey out because all of a sudden, when you're in a small game and when you're surrounded by tournament players, everyone can hear what they hear on the channel. So everyone's hearing me going, oh my days! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! What? Just what? So yeah, you are. I guess the channel captures our passion.
Yeah.
We love this game. Even when losing, I think it's an awesome game.
So it makes you laugh every time a 6 gets rolled and the camera rushes in. Well, that's you.
Yeah, that is me.
If we're voting for other game systems, we'd like to see how about War of the Ring. It doesn't seem to be widely as played as the regular strategy battle game. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play it, even back in the old days.
We could do like a one-off, couldn't we? It's not a supported game, and we could film 2 people who do play it, who do want to play it.
Yeah. I'm not interested at all by it. If there's a big enough demand, then maybe we'll...
If you would like to see Jamie play War
borrow
of the
a rule book or something to maybe make
I've got a rule book downstairs. Hashut's Blessing.
Who flogged you that?
No, I've not bought it. It was lent to me. I've not read it yet.
You've stolen it.
In fact, he lent it to me a long time ago. I should give it back, really. Sorry, Pete. I've not read it though still. Next up we've got Peter Sanson. Hi. I've not asked the question for several weeks, but I've watched everything and really love your channel. Thank you very much. Now I have a question. Do you think Sap Will should be a 5+ spell? Answer quickly, yes or no, before reading.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well good.
You've
got to defend against.
It was horrific in the old rules when it sapped all your will. Even now, when it's D3+1, that's still all the will of a hero gone.
Yeah.
Like, except a wizard, that is the will of a hero gone.
It's the fact as well, there are lots of, especially at smaller points games, you've got a lot of heroes which have got 1 will.
Yeah.
You know, where if you cast it, they're done for.
They either resist it and lose their will, or they don't resist it and lose their will.
So there's no...
And with it being cast on a 3+ from most casters, except for the later rig race that released that did get a 5+ sap will, it's really unfair for the 1 will heroes. Like, there's a very small risk for the ring rate.
Your Howdies, your Rumills.
Yeah, just
because I did that to them in my game against Tom Harrison.
Yeah, or sap will or 1 dice or what.
Sap will, you might as well use 1 dice because you've got more than a 50-50 chance. It's 3+. So.
Yeah.
Although I had to keep on asking Tom, like I'd roll I'd roll a 3.
Did that cast?
I'd be like, oh, and he was like, no, it's cast. And then I'd say, are you going to resist it? Because I don't know what I'm doing. If you still not watched that battle report, you've got to watch them. Our battle reports are great, Jamie. Yeah, so where are we? So yeah, my opinion is that it should. Yeah, mostly because you must resist it, and usually, even if you resist it, you lose will points.
Yeah.
And for captains, you only have 1 will point. Yeah, you don't get a tactical choice of choosing to resist it. Yeah, with every other spell, you can choose to let it through and suffer the spell or save your will for some other moment. Not possible with sap will. I mean, I guess you could have a special thing where if you resist sap will. With your single will, you keep that will.
Maybe, but that's not in the rules. So.
It's not in the rules, no. But
you can make a house rule out of it.
I think that could be a way of solving that problem.
Yeah.
If you're down to a single will and you resist, you keep the will.
If you successfully resist, maybe. But then it defeats the point of ever casting that spell against them.
No, but then if you're successful, you sap the will anyway. But at least then you've got a chance to resist it with your final will without using it.
But then you might as well just cast normal spells on them.
Yeah, that's true, because then they've got to use
the will to resist it, and if they use that once, then it's gone anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think it's just unfortunate. I mean, yes, it would be nice, but I doubt we'll see it get changed.
Crankcrack the Orc.
Cankraz.
Hello. Sorry.
This week's question is what do you think about using models from other companies? Now, I personally, I played against a Games Workshop force, basically, because I know what the models are, I know sort of what everything is. If we start bringing in other companies' models, for me, I don't know what exactly that model might be. And let's say you've gone, oh, well, this guy with the big axe is the chieftain. I go, okay, so start the game, that guy with the big axe is the chieftain. Halfway through the game, just charge regular warriors in. Go, okay, so that's one of these other warriors. That's my chieftain. That'll show you that you've charged your banner bearer into. Oh. Great. So there's a potential for confusion, and I would rather play against the Games Workshop force.
It's really interesting because since we announced that we were doing the Desolation of Stockport, we've had quite a few questions from people who have admittedly got absolutely beautiful armies that they've sort of, I think what you see a lot of people using like Gripping Beast for Rohan or Dunland and things like that.
Saxons and Viking range.
Because they're so much cheaper and they are nice looking models, but you can see why there would be a problem there. I mean, at the same time.
The issue is that if you start going off down, can I use other companies' roads, essentially you might as well just start saying, well, can I just play with tokens? Because all you're doing is representing a profile with a different model. And you might as well, well, all the blue ones are Khazad Guard, all the red ones are Dwarf Warriors with Spear from Erebor. Can we just play like this because I don't have the models, I don't want to buy them? That's the way I've always thought about it, is if you start going down one path, it just leads to...
I never thought I would feel like this, but I found myself feeling like this when... because I'm quite easygoing really when it comes to the games, you know, it's a game. But when Pete was showing me how to play 40k, he was using all of my Rohan cavalry bases, because the base size is similar, as...
Terminators or something?
No, as las cannon teams or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it meant that I was looking at the table and I was thinking, well, hang on, but I wasn't angry about it, of course. I was quite happy to play against him, but there was that kind of feeling of, you know, I've bought all this 40k stuff, and he hasn't. Now, obviously, it was so that he could teach with the game, so I didn't have that problem. But I could see how I might have that problem in another situation, if someone was just like, well, yeah, you know, this is this and this is this.
Let's say for you turn up with your 6 Sons of Ale that you spent like what, £120 on, and someone brings 6 Griffin Beast miniatures, said, "Oh, these are some available, by the way." And you go, "Well, how much do you pay for them?" "Oh, £20 for the lot." So,
Yeah.
I paid £120 to use the models I've got here, so...
Well, someone turns up with like a rubber spider from Blackpool,
Yeah.
you know, puts it on a base.
That's
Because I guess the issue is, at what point does it stop?
Yeah.
If you allow something, then you're opening up a big kind of grey area of... And which is why there has to be a level of being strict, because you'd rather not be strict. You'd rather kind of turn around and go, yeah, that army looks great, let's play that. But as soon as you say okay to one type of something, then you're opening it up to, so you'll get people, you know, using like a bear miniature, or like, I don't know, they'll go to some shop and buy a clay dragon thing and say, right, well that's
a dragon.
That's a dragon.
Yeah.
At what point does it stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, something that was going on the sort of the X-Wing Facebook group recently is they were talking about, can I use a converted modified ship? You know, the overwhelming response was that so long as the base is unchanged and its firing arc is all that really matters, then yes, fine, use the unmodded ship. But there were some people saying, well, I've paid sort of all the money again for my ships, why can you use a ship that is similar but is not what I want to play against?
Yeah.
And it got very heated in that discussion, with all of them sort of arguing against each other. And it got to the point where someone said, okay, well, I want to turn up with the blue B-Wings, but I don't own the B-Wings, so I'm going to use this Smurf that I've got that's blue, it's got wings on it because he's modelled as a flying Smurf, and they'll have no problem because he's just going to be stuck on top of the thing. As long as his arc's the same, doesn't change the game, it's just the model on top.
Yeah.
That's sort of the levels of sort of, yes, it's a very extreme, outlandish, I'm not really going to do this, but this is what it could essentially lead to.
I think it's safer to kind of have it black and white, and not go into the grey areas. So for example, like if you're making some kind of conversion, you're making an effort for something to look like something, or I can see that not being as much of a problem.
If something's out of production, then converting something into something else, I would see it be fine. The way that Games Workshop always used to say is, well, for their own business purposes, it has to be. They used to say it has to be a majority Citadel model to count as being usable in their tournaments. I think now it has to be a Citadel model that can be converted with other pieces.
I think that's a good point. If the majority of it is from a sort of Citadel base, then I think that's fair enough. But I mean, for things like you know, Rohan and Dunlin, I mean, there's plenty of Rohan plastics you can get for cheaper than what you can buy even Griffin Beast miniatures, I suppose. But it is a very contentious subject because there's some very strong feelings on either side. So it'd be really interesting to hear what you guys think. So get involved in this discussion and post below, and let's just have a sensible adult conversation about what people think. Should non-Games Workshop models be allowed, or should they not? And I think we'd probably lean on it's not, because at what point does
it stop?
That was a good question. That was a really good question. Who was that from? Camcrack the Orc. Very good. Okay. Paradox Vortex. Soz for all the questions.
Don't worry about it.
Was that from last week?
That's last week I was going. And Paradox Vortex. And Paradox Vortex is asking the question.
He's just winding you up.
Just eager.
Yeah. Paradox Vortex. Look up the Taking the Hobbits to Isengard remix.
I've seen it many times.
I've seen it. They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard. God.
Tell me, where is Gandalf? For I much desire to speak with him. A Balrog of Morgoth. What did he say?
Very good. Next up, we've got Win Morgan Owen.
Hey guys, first time asking a question.
Woohoo! Welcome.
I was wondering, what would you add to Jamie's 400-point Thorin's Company army to make it 500 points? You guys got me into the hobby, and although I can't get to Manchester for your tournament, are there any GBHL tournaments near Wales? Thanks for answering and keep up the good work.
What part of Wales? South Wales, I'm guessing he means when he says Wales. Otherwise ours wouldn't be too far away.
Yeah.
Doesn't Alistair want to organise one in Cardiff?
Alistair was thinking of getting one organised for Cardiff, because there are none currently that we're aware of going on in Wales, so potentially in the future. There's quite a few going on around London area, which is probably even further than Manchester to travel, so that's no use for you. But
with this hobby,
It's bad.
You've got to do the travelling.
You have to, yeah.
Now, even if it's just every few months, you've got to do the travelling to get the games in, because it's a community that is getting closer and closer.
It's growing.
And more people are coming into that because they're realising that, well, do you know, if I want to play this game, I do have to travel half an hour, 45 minutes to get to that person, and we do have to organise it on the One Ring forum. I can't just expect me mates to be playing it.
Yeah.
What would you add?
Well, add for 100 points.
Gambury.
No, because that takes away the strength of the hero force.
Yeah.
100 points. Who would I throw in?
Would you use more? You'd use more.
I use more Thorin's Company. I'd probably, if I had the models, put them all on ponies to begin with.
Yeah.
That's an extra 25 points. There's 75 points left. I was always tempted to take Ori because of his Deadeye rule. If he doesn't move, he gets the 2 shots on 6s there, auto wounds. But he's not a very good combat hero.
Mark bought Philly and Keely on ponies.
Yeah.
The other day. They did quite well.
I'm not a huge fan of Feely and Keely. Just because I don't think their special rule brings them anything. I mean,
I don't get it.
Combat synergy. Why would you? The only thing I can think of is it's
if you've taken a wound or you need the might.
Potentially, but it's at the start of any phase that you can do the switch. So let's say, for whatever reason, let's say the one without the bow, is it Keely? I don't know. But the one without the bow is at the back, and you need to change your line of sight. They can switch, and it doesn't count as moving, and you can shoot again. And then obviously the combat phase switch back if the other one wants to fight. But I don't really understand the special rule that well.
No.
I've been trying to think of ways to make it viable and useful, but I can't really.
So who are you thinking?
I'd
give them all ponies.
Give them all ponies. I'd take the what's it called, Orcrist with Thorin, because I don't have him in that list. So that's what, 35 points, and I'd probably take Biffa. Is it Biffa or Bofa, the one who can resist stuff on a 2+?
Irish guy.
Yeah. Nesbitt. James Nesbitt. I'd take James Nesbitt on a pony.
Yeah.
That's what I'd take.
Next question.
Yeah.
Rob Jacobs. Hi Rob, you alright? Hey James, I sent you an email 2 weeks ago with 2 key questions about the tournament in Stockport in April to your ilovewargaming@gmail.com email. Did it get lost in your mail perhaps? If so, I shall resend it. I don't remember seeing that. Send it again, but I'll also check spam filters and stuff. I don't remember seeing that. On to the main questions to the GBHL team. Now, this newsletter that you are keen to set in motion, what is the chosen name? GBHL or I Love Wargaming? I Love Wargaming.
Or I Heart Wargaming.
I Heart Wargaming. The amount of pages it will have, will it be as an app or physical printed version or perhaps both? We're probably not that far, and there's a reason why as well, because there's
things already happening that people have actually been working on that we talked about at the last tournament, and we're very interested in working with those people, the person, to sort of raise both our profiles basically.
You strategy battle gamers are very, very, very lucky. Very, very lucky, because there is something which is being planned that hasn't been planned by us, but we're going to contribute, and I think that we're going to be able to help it, which is going to be pretty awesome. Get excited.
Probably on a much bigger and better scale than we would have been able to manage.
Yeah, our ideal really, because obviously we're giving a lot of time for this and spending a lot of money as well, and of course for this to be sustainable, at the very least our hobby has to be paid for, and then maybe our time, and especially equipment. Like I'm desperate for equipment. Can't keep using this iPhone.
No,
it's not good enough.
My camera, despite it being decent, its battery life is shocking because it was the cheapest of the range.
Yeah, you need really need to be able to buy a spare battery.
A set of battery packs, and put one on charge and just keep swapping them over.
Yeah. So we need that, and I think we're going to do a Kickstarter at some point, because iMovie has just updated and has become horrendous. We probably could do with having the same editing software. Yeah,
that's something we talked about from the very early days, isn't it? That we need to be able to send each other files. So it's like, oh, you recorded that Q&A. Here's the stuff that you wanted, the pictures wise. I've put them in.
There's some more consistency as well. So our idea really was that, right, okay, well, if we had a kind of donation where people could donate a certain amount per month, if you donated a certain amount or above a certain amount, that would then give you a PDF, which would effectively be a 4 or 5 page newsletter that had a battle report in it, for example, that hadn't been released. Now, since we mentioned that we had this idea, we've been approached by somebody who has got a far bigger scope of what they want to give you guys. And we think that we can help, and I'm going to have more of a discussion with you. I'll keep you in the loop. Yeah, because we still need to find a way that, because something like that's quite expensive to do, to the scale that what he's doing. But we also need to find a way that we can still do what we wanted to do, which is, you know...
Essentially, I think the best way for us would be to use our PDF thing through the Kickstarter. I think that would be the best way for us to use that.
That could be a good thing to do. Or, because there might be a digital and a printed version. For the digital version, there was which was originally going to be free, there could be a donation.
Donation of
Yeah, so if you're wondering what we're talking about, just keep an eye out. These are teasers, because we can't go into detail because it's not sorted yet. But it's exciting times, Rob Jacobs, and I'm glad that you're interested in it. I don't think it'll be as an app, not yet. No. And as for physical printed version or PDF, wait out. 50p to £2 per month to an app subscription per month, I'm thinking, for this price-wise. The cheaper you decide, the harder it will be for a physical printed version to be produced. That's absolutely right. Physically printing stuff is expensive, especially if you want to do a good job of it. The reason why I'm asking this information is that I'm interested in developing it alongside your cooperation as junior graphic designer for free. Ooh. That's really good to know, Rob Jacobs. Generous dude. Very good to know. I would love to assist in the production of a magazine newsletter of this great hobby, and I have a lot of time I could invest in it before I start university in September. This is very interesting. If you want to get in better contact with me, send me a reply to my YouTube Gmail account I have, and I will send you my Skype address to start discussing the content. Well, that's good to know. I will contact you after
the weekend.
After the weekend. Is it this weekend?
Well, you've already seen him. You saw him. No, it's not this weekend. No. Oh, you scared me then. It's on the 2nd. Yeah. I scared myself down. Oh, a bit close together. Yeah.
After I've gone and seen who I need to see, I will get you up to date. But we really appreciate that as a bit of support. No matter what happens, whether you end up being involved or what, because like I say, there have already been things that have been in place that we weren't aware of, that now we are aware of because we made this suggestion. But regardless, that is really, really, really good of you, Rob Jacobs. Thank you very much. And send me that email again. Next up
is Ramsey Issa. Do you guys find it strange that there are no scenarios in the Desolation of Smaug journey book with Gandalf or Smaug in them? Maybe not Gandalf. Well, I guess he's... No, not really, because he's off at Dol Guldur, isn't he? We're following the Dwarven story. Do you think this is related to Jackson's decision to make a trilogy, which would have tampered with Games Workshop's original plan, causing them to ignore the newly added scenes, or Games Workshop's inability to release models in time for scenarios with characters like Bolg, Necromancer, Smaug, more Lake Town, etc. models? Or even both? Would love to hear your takes on the omissions. Thanks, guys.
I think it's more to do with...
I think it's Jackson rather than GW.
Yeah, I think that it must be really hard to be in that situation where you have to, as a business model, get things in production and get things lined up, and you're given all of this.
3 weeks before you go, no, actually, stop, just keep all that. Don't sell that stuff that you've spent all that money on. We're actually going to change this entire story.
Yeah, that must be really hard.
Frustrating as anything.
Frustrating and expensive.
Probably why they took such a big hit. For when they dropped 25% in stock shares.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was a big part of it.
Let's get all this Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff out. Oh no, maybe not.
It must be really frustrating. I can imagine from a business point of view that it would just be like being kicked in the nuts, and they must feel exasperated.
I'd be saying, right, we're going to come to 2 sessions a week. Actually, we're only going to come to 1 this week for the next year.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to me so much. Pay a direct debit per month. So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, yeah. I want 3 personal training sessions a week, and then if you were like, right, okay, well, I need that so that now I can then pay to set up my indoor venue. That's what's going to see me through. I'll just use that so I can do this, and then you start spending all your money on doing that, and then that person's like, yeah, actually, I can't really make it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Great. Cheers for that, pal.
There's nearly an editing mode on there.
Yeah.
So, and we're not like Games Workshop fanboys or anything. Just from a business point of view, you can imagine that being like, ooh, bleeding inside my chest.
We've got some real issues with LucasArts at the moment at work. We're trying to get some Star Wars stuff put on the walls, and they just ban it away. Like they authorised to have us having a Star Wars based Miniland, and the Star Wars based Miniland is in. But when they put it in, they just painted the walls black.
Okay.
And we were like, okay, this looks amazing Lego wise, but the walls are rubbish. Like you don't get the feeling, the full sort of effect. So can we like put up some vinyls, maybe saying like, "Welcome to Star Wars Miniland," stars in the background, you know, the text thing. It's like, no, that doesn't fit the image we wanted. So well, you'd rather have a black wall. Like, well, not really, but we don't want that. Come back to us with another idea.
Come back to us with another idea.
It's like,
not a suggestion of.
Don't suggest to us. Yeah, we're having real issues with getting LucasArts to get on board. They're owned by Disney, and Disney are our biggest competitors for a tourist attraction.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So they're being really sort of. No, we don't want that.
No,
we don't want that. Yeah.
And that's it. That's even with so in terms of like posters and stuff. That's even with sort of Lego Star Wars posters.
Even Lego Star Wars posters have to be verified by LucasArts, who are owned by Disney. Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in. But because we're Lego, we also stock loads of Lego Disney stuff, which is really weird that we're using their brand name to sell stuff that makes us as Merlin money. It's a weird system.
Yeah, but you know, everybody should help each other out.
Yeah.
It's worse from a business point of view. To see rivals as rivals, I think, and it's more kind of thing that listen, there are plenty of people out there who want to spend money on doing these things. Don't think that you're competing for that money.
Yeah.
Complement each other. There's no reason why at some point people won't do both.
Yeah.
So why don't you help each other make more money?
This was.
I hope you're listening, Disney and Merlin. The best solution is always to have a cup of tea.
Oh yeah.
Sit down, have a brew. Sort it out.
There was a really interesting advertising campaign when Sea Life was launched. There's also the Blue Planet Aquarium very near.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
very very similar attractions. Come see our fish, basically. So
Blue Planet, what's it called? Not Blue Water. That's down south.
Aquarium.
The Blue Planet Aquarium's in Cheshire Oaks.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's very near to sort of where the new Sea Life is in Trafford Centre. And basically, Sea Life launch was like, come and see the 10,000 types of new animals we've got. We've got sharks, basically, which was their big selling point. And they opened, and the sharks are sort of like 2 foot long. They're not very big.
Dogfish.
Yeah, basically. And the Blue Planet Aquarium, their advertising campaign in reaction to this was, come see bigger sharks. It's like touche, Blue Planet, touche.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because Sea Life is
Small.
It's a small attraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a walk through.
Take about an hour to go.
It's more about the gift shop.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
More about the gift
Well,
shop.
that and the Sea Trek.
Sea Trek. Is that when?
That's when you put the helmet on and go actually into the tank and fish from around you.
Oh yeah, that's quite good.
Yes, cool.
That's quite cool. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the model releases. Which it's more. We think it's more to do
More
with
with the
a Jackson thing.
trilogy split rather than 2 movies.
Yeah, and that's probably why those things are omitted. Which do you think there'll be another supplement?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should expect another supplement. And
I'd be very surprised if they don't do a there and back again supplement for it.
There should be. Leonardis East Grinstead, Wargamers. Thanks for answering my question again. James, I'm impressed with your knowledge on fitness and nutrition. Thumbs up. Good, because I know everything. This week it's a question for Jamie.
Ooh.
So here it goes. So Jamie, I've never been to a tourney, and as you know, we are hosting one next week.
Yeah.
Next week?
Yeah, because it's released on Sunday.
Yes. Both of us getting worried. Can you please explain how the scoring system works, especially for those who can only attend a few tourneys?
Okie doke. So the typical sort of tournament scoring system is that the tournament organiser will set a value for a win, a draw and a loss. So the easiest way and sort of the most basic way is to do football scoring. That's the easy way to explain to most people. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 points for a loss, and they're your tournament points. So they are sort of like your points for winning games. Within those games, you score victory points, and that's what your objectives are in the game. So let's say in Lords of Battle you kill 20 models, you get 20 victory points. Your opponent might kill 10 models, and they get 10 victory points. So you'd win the game with a 20 victory point score versus their 10. So let's say I scored 20, you scored 10 on the rare occasions that I actually beat you. I'd get 3 tournament points for winning, and you'd get 0 for losing. And I'd get 20 victory points, and you'd get 10 victory points.
Yeah.
Imagine victory points are your goal difference or goals scored, basically.
Yeah.
So let's say next game I play someone else, you play someone else, I lose and you win. But if my victory point score was higher than your victory point score, we'd both be on 3-0 or 3-3. But my victory points would put me above you in the rankings.
Yeah.
And I think that's the easiest way to describe it, is to compare it to football.
Yeah. And the way that the draw works is, if you lose your first game, you're likely to be partnered with somebody who lost their first game.
Yeah.
And the person who's closest victory tournament points wise.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Which is how it works. And not really until the last game can you play the same opponent
twice. Well,
so for example, me and Ed, I know that we're doing tournament review, but me and Ed got the draw at the start. We don't play each other immediately again, even though we would be the only two.
The only two people on that point score, yeah.
Yeah, we would play against the players on the lowest VPs on the win, or the highest on the loss.
Highest on the loss and lowest on the win. You'd squash between those two, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that works, and then how that then translates onto the league is quite interesting.
So on league, let's say a tournament has 20 players, because that's a nice round number. The tournament is worth 100 league points, so once the final standings have been made, that first person gets 100 league points.
Where are you in the...
In the league currently, for 2014 I'm in 3rd place.
I'm in 5th place. It's all about attending the tournament.
Yes. So let's say those 20 people then will get a scaled down version. So you do the 100 points divided by 20. So conveniently it's a nice round number, so each person's going to get -5 as you go down.
Yeah.
So first I get 100, second I get 95, third 90, and so on and so forth, up until you hit 25, and then afterwards everyone gets 25 from there downwards to sort of reward you for turning up, basically.
Yeah, quite an interesting system.
Yeah. And it's probably one of the fairest I've seen for a league as well.
Yeah.
Because I know other places, there was a big talk about this when the second season was happening, where there should just be a blanket sort of, if you win you get 100, second place 95, third 90, and just scale it down, not even scale it, just have that for every tournament. But there was lots of talk that winning a sort of, or even placing second in sort of like a 50-man tournament, say, is much harder than placing second in an 8-man tournament.
But not necessarily, it depends on the 8 people that are there.
It depends on the 8 people that are there, which is the other thing. So,
yeah, you go to a tournament and you've got you, Tom Harrison, Ed Ball, Charles, Owen, Damien, you know what I mean, and I don't know, Sam Page or someone like that, you know what I mean, or Sam Jeffrey or one of those guys. You know, so you turn up to that and you've got to play against 4 of you guys. You know, that's hard going if you do alright in that.
So, in that respect, it's fairer to have that sort of blanket one. But let's say you turn up and there's 8 new players, then if you're a half decent player, you should, in theory, win that tournament, and that's an easy 100 points for you.
My argument would be that if you get a tournament that's got like 8 players or 10 players, especially with how the league is going in terms of attendance, that small group is likely to be your more hardcore players.
Yeah.
So in fact, it's actually harder. And I would actually say, this is my opinion, that first 3 places, the score should always be the same. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it is.
That's not the way it is, though. It's not changing. I'd quite like that for last season, because I placed 3rd in a tournament very similar, where it was all sort of big names, as it were, and placed 3rd, but I only got 75 victory points, or league points for it. And I had a tournament where I turned up, where I finished like 8th and earned more points. I was like, oh. Yeah. But I think that it works well as it is. But that's how the tournaments work. Imagine football scores.
Yeah. And again, I also think that, especially because, like for football league scores as well, so getting sort of 3 points effectively. 30.
Essentially, 30.
So let's say you get three for your win, 1 for your you draw, and 0 for your loss. That works if you've got like a football league where you've got 22 teams.
Yeah.
If you're playing, you know, between 4 and 8 games,
Yeah.
potentially, might be worth having more of a rugby system where you've got 2, 1 and 0.
Yes, yes. So 2 draws don't equal.
So 2 draw, because otherwise
2 draws equal a win.
2 draws equal a win.
Yeah.
I think would probably be a bit fairer. And of course, I'm just saying that because of my result.
Because you drew twice.
But no, just on reflection.
Oh, yeah.
On reflection, you think, well, actually, you know, you've got to get 3 draws before you equal a win.
Yeah.
You know, there's not enough games in there for that to make a big difference. So yeah, that's how it works, and we look forward to seeing you in the pub in East Grinstead. It's going to be good. Thomas Maynard, congratulations to Jamie for winning the tournament.
We said it last weekend that I'd do it.
Yeah, was it a Sam Page?
Sam Page called it.
He called it.
He called it.
He called it. Good call.
By the way, congratulations for winning the tournament. Yeah, damn right.
That was a good call. That was a good call. I think, yeah, it was a very good call. Paradox Vortex.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Rohan, Foot and Cavalry. When what?
With any leader.
With any leader against Minas Tirith Cavalry and Foot against any leader. I think.
But are we just talking like basic?
I think just basic troops. Don't go into like Sons of Vale and Gorilla and
Gondor.
Gondor should win.
Gondor should win that if you're talking
with
basic.
the high defence.
And also with any leader, you know, well, if you're going to go for any leader, let's say Boromir tanked is better than anything that Rohan can give.
Yeah.
You know, Rohan's top hero. No, Eleanor, he's just not got the fight value.
No.
He needs to be fight 6, or bring Alfred instead of something else and give him.
Yeah. Just give him 3 money.
Give him 3 money. It's a consideration. Why not?
Something I've been considering. It's like in this low point time at 350. I was thinking maybe Alfred will be worth it.
Just for the extra money.
Just to sit next to Legolas and go, spend your might on that wound. There you go, Legolas, have it back.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Other people are doing it. This is the thing, you know. At what point are you being cheesy? It's there in the rules.
I think it's people know that rule can be abused, but if you just take Alfred, it's only 3 points of might potentially.
And you're paying 20 points for 3 points of might, effectively, aren't you?
Yeah.
And a rubbishy model.
Yeah.
And a point of might is
It's
worth 5 points, isn't it? So it's fair enough, isn't it? I might do that, you know. Might work a way of dropping a rider and put
Alfred in.
and just put Knight of
Just
the
bump them all up and then
because then you've got your Knight of the Pelennor.
6 might.
Knight of the Pelennor was 6 might.
Yeah.
Which is why I dropped Knight of the Pelennor last time, because of his cost, and I wanted more might, so I had Eorl the Young and Eowyn instead.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, none of those heroes can actually stand up against even something like Dwalin on a pony. They just can't.
Sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it? But yeah.
You just can't stand up to.
No, not without the fight 6. The fight 6 is just needed in Rohan.
And you need the 3 fate, 3 wounds as well.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
It's a massive difference.
The 2 fates, 1 wound.
We'll go into more of that in the tournament review. Next up, we've got Ryan McConnell. Hey guys, sorry I haven't asked a question in a few weeks, but my laptop went bust.
No.
Hope you sorted it out, buddy. I'm back now, and I'm back for good. Woohoo! That's good to hear. And can I say, I love this video. My question for this week is, can a hero only lead a cavalry warband of 6 models? No, you can 12.
It's 12 warriors, regardless of what they are. You can have 12 cave trolls if you wanted.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, it is right.
Or can it go up to 12 models? Yes, go up to 12. Love the March of the Ents video, guys. Great stuff, keep it up. And keep an eye out, because there'll be more scenarios after this.
A week from today.
A week from today I'll be filming some more. I need to get some new editing stuff.
Yes.
I don't know why it changed.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
Next question is from Frank Farmer. Hi guys, if you could have any army you wanted with all unlimited points and money, what would it be? I'm thinking of starting a Gondor army, and are they worth it? Dunlendings. I'd love to have a full force of Dunlendings with no points limits and with unlimited money for.
Because they're beautiful and they just look cool.
Just cool. Just cool as anything.
Not because they're competitive or anything.
Just be nice to have them.
Nice to have. I would agree with that, yeah. Something like that, or canned or something. Or
yeah.
Do you know, even these Hobbit armies look cool.
Hobbit armies look cool, and they're so good as well.
They are really, especially in certain
points limits. They get good.
You know, you look at Reconnoiter, you're going to be getting more models off the board most of the time. Hold ground and high ground, you're probably going to have more models.
Well,
on the objective.
even when they break you, you're still probably going to have more models.
Yeah, you might struggle at Lords of Battle against some people because your opponent can take a lot of points from you.
Yeah.
Without you necessarily being able to do too much back. Domination, you might have to split your forces.
But even then, it's got so many.
Yeah, maybe. It makes it easier to pick, get rid of you.
I don't think it does. Not after playing Edit Domination.
Did you play Edit Domination? I played John McCree and his Hobbits at Domination, so we had the same problem.
Yeah.
Different outcomes.
Yes.
Different players. Next up, Thomas Macklin. Great to meet you in Mansfield, my friend. You are a star.
Good job for travelling all the way.
Yeah, good job for coming up. Really nice to meet you at last. Glad you enjoyed yourself at your first tournament. Congratulations for making it there and having a great time. Looking forward to seeing you at the next one. And remember to send me that message because I'll help you out with your query. Another great Q&A, guys. My question is, can a foe spear support any other model from Durin's folk?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think I'm getting better?
You get this.
I'm getting there, aren't I?
Yeah, it's just a spear.
It's because spending time with you.
Yeah. And these.
I've got like leech.
Essence leech.
Essence leech. When his shielding partner has died, can he ever use as a spear support for any other model?
Yeah.
Thanks, and it was great to meet you guys at Mansfield. You are both cracking lads.
Thank you very much, man.
You are a cracking lad. We like you.
Yeah. Made the initiation of getting in Charles's car.
Yeah.
Even he's not done that yet.
I'm not doing it. Philadeus 4? Philadeus?
Philadeus 4.
Philadeus 4.
I think that's just a bit of internet stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Philadeus 4.
How do monsters' attacks, e.g. hurl, work on cavalry? Can you hurl the mount or rider or both? And is shield a monster who can hurl? P.S. I ordered from Element Games today. Yeah.
Fantastic, and I hope you said that you came from the GBHL YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Hurling cavalry, you heard the model, don't you?
You heard the model. This was in the unofficial GBHL FAQ that was written by a group of guys. Very good answers in there. I suggest you go read it. It's on the Facebook group. Basically, you pick up the model, you throw it, and both take hits.
Mm-hmm.
You do one hit on a model for passing through. If the model you pass through is a cavalry model, it hits both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. And yes, Shelob is a monster who can hurl.
Fantastic, good question. Thank you very much. Sam Page. To answer your X-Wing query, Luke and R2-D2 are not banned at tournaments.
Didn't think they were.
I didn't think they were either. You can use anything you like as long as it follows the squad building rules. Yeah. I would recommend picking up B-Wings, want to, TIE Interceptors, both want to.
I want lots of TIE Interceptors. I want two, really.
When they're back in stock, easily two of the best ships.
Yeah.
And we've got a question this week. Keep up the good work and see you soon down in the sunny south. Looking forward to your tournament.
Isn't it really wet down south at the moment?
It is soggy. It is soggy. It's just England this year.
Yeah, it's just
been
weird.
Soggy.
Weird.
What have we got for X-Wing week? What have you got? What have you got in your force?
So I've got the core set, so I've got the two ties. I've bought an additional tie, and I've got a tie advanced. I've got an X-Wing from the set, an X-Wing from the expansion, and a Y-Wing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've got two of the starter sets, so that's four
ties,
two
X's.
two X-Wings. I've got the X-Wing on its own expansion, so you get like Howl Runner and things like that. And the
tie expansion on its own.
Yeah, tie expansion on its own, so 5 ties.
Yeah.
Ties in total. X-Wing, then you get like Wedge and...
You get Wedge and Graven, is it?
Garvin, I think, yeah. So I've got 3 X-Wings, 5 TIE fighters. I've also got a TIE Advanced. I've also got a TIE Bomber. And I've also got...
Falcon?
I've got Millennium Falcon, yeah. Got Millennium Falcon. And I would like... B-Wing.
Yeah. I want the Imperial Aces set when that comes out.
Yeah, that was cool.
Do you get 2 TIE Interceptors in it? That's the biggest reason for me.
I'll be getting that, and I will be getting it from Element Games.
Yes.
Unless anybody else out there wants to offer a better discount.
Or if I win another tournament and get some store credit.
Yeah, because that's what you got.
That's what I bought, my store credit.
He spent his store credit on X-Wing because it is a great game.
I love it.
It is a great game, guys, and we will be showing you that game soon.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't already play it. Next question.
Patrick Burmeyer. Hey again, thanks for answering my question last week. I caved and picked her up. Toriel, I guess.
Toriel, yeah.
Yeah. I've been working on a Mirkwood list and I have a few points left over, and at 500 points I am wondering whether to take a Wood Elf Sentinel or 2 Mirkwood Rangers to round out my list. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great content. Interesting.
Well, it's interesting. Wood Elf Sentinels have been coming up a little bit in our questions lately, haven't they?
Yeah.
And what we've been saying is, they can be really useful, but quite situational because a lot of evil armies are fury, and a lot of good armies have got high courage.
Yeah. Or bodyguard. But out of 2 Mirkwood Rangers or Wood Elf Sentinel, let's compare them. The 2 Rangers will give you an extra model in your force and an extra bow. Same number of attacks. That's that. The Wood Elf Sentinel gives you 2 attacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Only 1 bow shot.
So you get 4 attacks really from the 2 Mirkwood Rangers. You get twice as many attacks.
Well, if you're against 2 guys.
They're not 2 attacks base?
No.
Well,
They're 1 attack base.
1 attack base.
But then they get +1 up to a maximum of 3 for...
I had that wrong in my mind.
Yeah,
2 attacks.
Elves
with 2 attacks.
That'd be nice. But then the Wood Elf Sentinel does give you these magical powers, basically. So I, for myself, would like to say the Wood Elf Sentinel this time over the 2 Mirkwood Rangers. Yeah.
And listen to him. Don't listen to me. Yeah. He knows what he's talking about. He's a tournament-winning Wood Elf. Next up, we've got Barry O'Neill. Hey guys, sorry for the late post, but my little fella's been feeling unwell. Oh, maybe he's alright. And I've only managed to watch the Q&A tonight. Thanks for answering last week. And my question this week is, how is terrain decided upon at tournaments?
Purely down to the tournament organiser. They set it up before the event and will move it if they feel they need to during the day and for any scenarios. And players should do as little moving of terrain as they can, unless they think something's really giving an advantage or can't be played. Such as, for Tom and I had to rearrange our high ground scenario because there was a great big building in the middle.
Yeah.
So we said to one and said, we'll move this to the side and replace it with that hill. Deal? Yeah, good.
Yeah, me and Kieran had to do a similar thing at high ground.
Yeah.
Because the
hill goes to the middle.
Yeah, and then Damien needed the thing that we moved out to the side, so he gave us his thing. So, yeah, you're not supposed to meddle about with it too much, but if you need to, then you need to. And I would recommend any TOs, or any potential TOs. Remember with the Hobbit, try and get lots of different terrain in there.
Lots of different terrain, yeah. If you have one board covered in wood, it's going to really benefit an elf. Similarly, if it's got Goblin Town board, it's not going to be good for cavalry. Which they actually said at Mansfield, we've got a separate board set up if you don't want to play on our Goblin Town board. Which was really nice, and I actually gave him a round of applause because I don't like playing on Goblin Town. Do you know what? I would love to play on it. It was beautiful. It was so nice, wasn't it? It was beautiful. It was a real 3D... You would never have got to play on that. No. Oh well, I was on a tournament. You would have never got to play on that because you were just too damn good. I should say that I was on the bottom table second game. Oh, was you? Yeah. No, yeah. So I lost. No, I didn't lose. Yeah, I lost the game. Third game I was on the bottom table. On third game you were on the bottom table, yeah. Interesting. I was on the second to top table. Look how the tables turned. I know. I got crushed. And taught a lesson like the maths teacher. Yeah, so that's how terrain is decided. But yeah, any future, just lots of terrain. Yeah. No, not bare boards, not 40k or fantasy or anything. Yeah. Exciting terrain. Mavs Fanatic, we mentioned you before. James R, good to see you. Buddy, congrats on the win, Jamie. Okay. I agree. What troop type do you feel is most incorrectly represented in SBG? Was incorrectly represented in SBG? So potentially underpowered in comparison to their Middle-earth. For myself, it's the Fountain Card of Gondor. Fountain Card? Fountain Guard. Oh, the Fountain Guard, okay. Oh, yeah, Fountain Court, isn't it? Fountain Guard of the Fountain Court. Guard of the Fountain Court of Gondor and the Royal Guard of Rohan. They're chosen from the best of all Gondor Rohan respectively, and yet they're not the best troops available to their armies in game. I don't know, I'd say Fountain Guard of Fountain Court are for Gondor. Yeah, but, and they've got options to get buffed, haven't they? Yeah, I'd take the shield. The same fight value as a Citadel Guard, but you'd expect that sort of elite cadre to be that bit more elite. Rohan Royal Guard used to be, and they are bodyguarded. The Sons of Ale were released later on, and yes, they probably are the best Rohan troop. Yeah. Who do I think, though? Most incorrectly represented. I don't know. I think the game's pretty balanced. I can't think of it. The Balrog, I'd say, is probably one that is a bit underpowered.
Yeah.
It needs some might, definitely.
Theoden.
Yeah, Theoden.
Theoden really needs two profiles. He needs one. It's almost
One
like
when
the
he's-
Broken King almost.
Yeah, and then one when he's in his sort of
Same
glory.
same as like Knight of the Pelennor.
Yeah.
He needs like a Theoden of the Pelennor because you read the books. What a legend! Theoden's a beast. He's a beast.
But this is troop type, not heroes.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Troop type.
Potentially, again, even perhaps Riders of Rohan without the Red Shield upgrade, they need to be exempt from the move and shoot. Would make them play how they are meant to be played.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good call. Lots of people used to say that to me when I was building the Rohan list. Yeah, Riders of Rohan, good call. That was our answers for that question. Thanks very much, Maz Fanatic. Next up, we've got
Frida. Hey guys, sorry I missed out last week. School has been quite busy. I only managed to paint 5 models so far this month, whereas last month I painted something like 55.
That's a big difference.
It's a very big difference. Keeping with this new 1 question per week rule, when are we going to see James do some push-ups from a Get Buff Bat rep?
Well, we've been talking about this. This is from a serious point of view.
Yeah.
About because there are some things that the cavalry force is really good at, and one of the things that it's really good at is Lords of Battle, and that wasn't planned when we set up the Get Buff Bat rep. It just seemed the most logical for sort of
for high VP sort of stuff. Yeah,
for high VPs, but it's a really good force for that because, as Jamie said, this was Jamie's observation. What did you say?
The force can put out a lot of damage, so sort of 6 attacks when knocked down, 6 strikes. But they're all 1 wound models, and the horses don't count. So it can give out a lot of damage, but it only gives away a very few amount of victory points. So even if as sort of in our game it shows there.
Even when it was as even, because it was an even game.
Very close game.
Very close game. But but the VPs weren't close.
Yeah.
That's because if I'm killing, because your army is softer.
Yeah.
If I'm killing 2 or 3.
And I kill 1, it's still the same points difference, but I've given away 3, whereas you've given away 1.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, it should always be in your favour to not do the push-ups, basically.
Yeah, that wasn't planned. On the other hand, if Get Buff Bat Rep was hold ground or high ground,
you could end up doing a lot of push-ups.
I would end up doing a lot of press ups against a lot of things because I'm finding it very hard. Hold ground in particular. Hold ground's tough, really tough. We'll talk more about that in the tournament review. And it's really, really tough for me. So yeah, when you see, well, if someone comes and does me,
perhaps domination would be a good one.
Don't
Where
worry.
there's still lots of victory points at stake around the board. You've got 15, there's 21 total of maximum.
Yeah.
And you do the victory points as scored, not difference.
Yeah, maybe we could do like a special Get Buff Bat Rep and do it at domination. Maybe for once. I would like to keep Get Buff Bat Rep as Lords of Battle because it kind of makes the most sense and that's the format. But I guess we could do a domination one. Although I fancy my chances at domination with the cavalry force because you can use all of your force against and you can get to those objectives as and when you need to. And if you're broken, you've got outriders who can sit on objectives without running away. And it's a good force for domination and Lords of Battle.
Okay. Next question is from Lewis McDonald. Hey guys, I've recently bought Sauron. I'm just wondering why nobody really uses him. He's lots and lots and lots of points. Getting worried as it seems I might have wasted my money. Haha, really cool channel, might add.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He's not a waste of money or points, don't worry. I've seen him used. He generally comes out in big games, so sort of like 1,000 points. Use him and a Taskmaster. He channels his spell. Taskmaster hopefully gives it to him for free, and you cast. Which one is it? Chill Soul. And it does a wound on the target you choose, and everyone within 3 inches takes a strength 5 hit.
Ooh.
And it is a nasty combo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Charles Sims, unsurprisingly, took this to GT.
Totally broken.
Took this to GT, not GT, Throne of Skulls the other year. We were playing a practice game, and I set my Wood Elves up, to shoot, basically 2 ranks. Pick one in the middle, staying outside the Legolas's range so I couldn't try to resist it, and he wiped out 10 in 1 turn.
Ouch.
I was like, oh, okay, that's nasty.
Ouch.
I think he did win that game in the end.
I mean, the problem at a smaller points cost is the same problem that you get with taking anything, which is a lot of points, is that your opponent can then effectively have more dice against you if they've got more models, and that does eventually, you know, at some point you are not going to roll what you need to roll.
You're going to roll a 5 or a 6, basically.
And at that point, you're in a lot of trouble, because a lot of things can get into your base, they're rolling a lot of dice against you. It's not Jehovah's Witness or...
Oh, okay.
Oh no, just a leaflet. We get so many takeaway leaflets. Do they not know that my body is a temple? That was funny when we were all having a curry.
Yeah.
We were all having a curry on the night, because that's the best thing about the tournaments.
Yeah, it's a night out.
It's the night out, we're all having a curry, and I'm there with like me grilled chicken and my salad.
Yeah.
It's a choice. Good question. So yeah, Sauron, you've definitely not wasted your money. I'd like a Sauron, just to play. It's a game. Just play. Camille Domansky. Hey guys, question for James. I'm halfway to finish building my Rohan army. Good man. And he's actually done it here. Rohan! Can a cavalry model do spear support? Can a cavalry model do spear support to a model on foot?
Yeah.
They don't have spears.
Some of them do. Range to the north, the spear on cavalry do.
Well, right, yeah, they do, don't they? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, on foot. Well, then, yeah. And can I do either?
Unless it says in the spear rule specifically on foot. I don't think
you can carry a spear mounted.
I think you can. Why not?
I don't think you can. Well, check it out. But yeah, I guess if you've got one, then why not? Can I do the other way, model on foot support cavalry?
Yes, you definitely can do that.
Thanks, guys, and keep up the good work. When I finish my army, I hope to see you at the tournament. You'll never walk alone.
Yes.
Camille Domansky. We are not.
Gone up in my books.
It's gone up in your books, yeah. Copite scum. Oh no, we got so close.
Look what you did.
We got so close. Oh, I'm editing this as well.
Yeah,
right, I have to remember. Cut that out.
1 hour. No. Well, yeah, 1 hour. 1 hour 15.
1 hour 15. It's not too bad. So I've been playing this great game for 8 years. I have a Rohan force and a Hobbit Lord of the Rings Mirkwood force. This is Joseph Keller, by the way. Do you guys think I should start filming some bat reps? I've recruited quite a few players, and they're all excited to game.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for
Definitely.
it. I have a Rohan for Hobbit. Do you think I should start filming some bat reps? You can do. It's hard work. It's not as easy as we make it look. So.
Yeah, as I say, it's not as easy as it looks to do, but by all means, get on it.
Yeah, get on it. And if you need any advice, just feel free to email I Love Wargaming or ask us on here. But it isn't as easy as it looks. It takes a lot of time.
Yes.
A lot of time, and if things go wrong.
Oh, remember our first few recordings?
Oh,
the footage isn't saved. We need to redo it. We can't really redo it. We'll just have to give an overview. Oh, the footage hasn't saved.
Yeah.
Another overview.
But we are going to try and be more professional, and in order to do that we need your support. If you would contribute towards something like a Kickstarter to get equipment, such as, really we need at least one extra camera.
Yeah.
But we need spare batteries.
For the
cameras. We need mics.
Yeah.
We could do with editing software as maybe as a stretch goal.
I think
so we've got the same. So we've got the same.
Working off the same.
If you think that you would contribute to the channel in order to help improve it through some kind of Kickstarter, let us know, because then we've got a good idea about what kind of what would you see as a decent contribution, for our time. Very interesting. That has been.
No,
it's not, because what we have forgotten is it's this week's The Scouring of YouTube. The Scouring of YouTube. That's right, guys. We nearly forgot.
No, we didn't. I had it in my mind.
You had it in your mind. I nearly did.
You touch screen.
No, that doesn't work. Right. Okay. So first of all, last week we did Greenleaf Terrain, who sent us that gorgeous looking Hobbit hole, which I modelled wearing a vest after training.
Wife beater.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a vest training today. Oh my days, it was hard. It was hard. So we've got a roll call for all of those champions who got on the Greenleaf Terrain video that we posted up, and I think it was the Mini War Games War Machine board which is beautiful, by the way. If you go and have a look on that video, and you've still got time, get on there and say, wow, I've got directed here from GBHL James and Jamie, and we love your work. The roll call for all of the winners, the great first stage subscribers who supported us and went to the video. We got Deathclip, Kurt Leach, the Lord of the Rings man, Callum Winfield, Mason O'Neill, Zach Elkins, One Good Riddance, and WK Valida. You guys are all legends, and well done for participating in last week's The Scouring
Of YouTube.
This week we have decided, well, I think this was Jamie's idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
We'd like to thank Dreamlight Gaming for hosting such a great event, and we'd like to repay them by having them be the target, basically, of this week's Scouring of YouTube. So
the target.
So true. The target.
Spam them.
Spam them. Say GBHL sent you.
Yeah.
And we were going to do it on the channel intro video, so the link should be in the description below, and hopefully, if James remembers, in an annotation, like about.
Yeah, I'll do that.
About here.
You want it above your head?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, I'll
click here.
I'll see if I can get it into that space above your head there.
Yep. I just say we sent you and say thank you for letting Jamie win your tournaments.
Yeah, didn't let you. You worked hard for it.
Yeah, I worked hard for it. But also thank you for hosting the tournament, I guess. Something along those lines. Mention the tournament. Say thank you for doing it.
Until they're doing another 1,000-point tournament in. They're doing a 1,000-point tournament. I've never played 1,000 points.
March? Or is it May? No, it's after ours. It's in May. Because theirs is going to come before the Throwing of Skulls. So it's a good, like, a practice tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. I'll talk to you about what I need to do.
What you need to do for 1,000 points, yeah.
Yeah. I've got some ideas, but I know I need to be
4 warbands minimum.
Yeah, I need to be over 28 models.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about that later. Guys, that's been this week's The Scouring
Of YouTube.
The Scouring of YouTube. Get on it, team. And that has been another week's edition of Speak, Friend and Question. Do hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you asked a question, make sure you ask one next week and we will endeavour to answer it. This has been GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
Happy strategy battle gaming, guys.